Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Our website is thisweekinamerica.us. Information on today's program, including our guest on this segment, Jonathan Gray. Jonathan is with Gray Enterprise. We're going to be talking about import-export, something we've talked about in the program before, something I'm excited about because chances are over the next few minutes you're going to maybe thinking that you have a product. If you're a farmer, a small businessman, or you work for a small businessman, possibly a new outlet to bring in some new revenue. And Jonathan Gray is with us on the program. Jonathan, I love your passion for this. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Oh, thank you for having me, Rick. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, this is so interesting, and I know that you and I have talked a couple times off the air, and I said, is it safe to say that now's a pretty good time to get involved because the government seems to be really encouraging this, and you're saying, yeah, there probably has never been a better time to be involved in exporting.
Absolutely. This is a great time to get involved in exporting. I know there are a lot of companies out there that haven't thought about it, but it's an excellent time. The country and our government is repositioning us to be a major exporting power in the world.
And if people are listening and they're going, yeah, but I have a product and I don't know whether this product is something that anybody wants, and obviously they can call Jonathan. His number, by the way, is 866-735-7175. Yeah. That'll be up on our website after the program. If somebody, and you were saying before that there really isn't a product that there's not some market for out there.
Not at all. The world is clamoring for American products. And we've gotten so used to the world kind of coming to us that it's our turn to kind of take it to the world now. I don't think there's a product that's produced in the country that someone in the world doesn't want. They just don't know how to gain access to it. Well, what we do at Gray Enterprise. We help you gain access to it.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the products that you've dealt with, some of the products that people are looking for overseas?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, overseas, countries like Central America, South Africa, they love our clothing. They want our clothing as much as we can get it, as fast as we can get it. They're even importers out there looking for secondhand clothing because they can't get to the new stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah, their clothing is one thing. Our coffee is another thing. You know, we have coffee all over the world, but people are clamoring for American coffee, including American. So
yes,
that's another thing.
And if people have some idea, it's like, okay, I've got this product. You can call Jonathan, who will walk you through the process. His number, again, is 866-735-7175. You've been doing this, an interesting background, for a number of years, and you basically got started working with churches and sending supplies overseas, and that got you interested in sending product over there as well.
Yes, it did. I've been a minister for 15 years, and I've been pastoring in churches, and I grew to love going on short-term mission trips and helping organizations overseas and in Africa and in the Caribbean and Central America to develop their programs. And when I be on the ground in different countries, I see the opportunity. You had lots of entrepreneurs that wanted to develop business over there in those developing countries, but they couldn't get to the products. The country itself didn't produce them, didn't have access to them in America. So we started sending things over for ministries and for outreach opportunities. But then I realized there's a great opportunity for real business that will help that country. Instead of us having to send them a handout, they can start producing their own product and meeting their own needs if we can supply them with products from America. So that's what got me into it. Not only building churches and organizations, but also helping industry in those countries.
If somebody says, okay, I've got a product that I think there could be some market for, they're worried about pricing, they're worried about shipping, they're worried about paperwork. Let's start with pricing. Do you help them in establishing a fair price that someone overseas would buy?
Yes. Most importers will tell you what they want to spend, tell you what their range is. And what we do at Gray is we'll find a supplier that can meet that importer's price range. If we can come in lower, the lower greater. Everyone wants a cheaper price. So if we can come in lower, excellent. If we have to be realistic and say this is what this product is really going to cost, then we leave it with them to decide. But most products have a buyer and a supplier that can agree on a price relatively easily. They just need kind of a mediator to help them figure that out.
And that's what you do. Jonathan Gray at Gray Enterprise, 866-735-7175. I mentioned the shipping. How does that work? I'm here, they're there. How do I get the product to them?
Well, it's so creative, this idea of importing, exporting. There's really no limit. I think a lot of American companies are intimidated by exporting because they think it's going to be very expensive. 80% of American companies don't export, and they don't because they think it's going to cost too much. What they don't realize is that importers in other countries will pay to have our product shipped to them. They'll pay for it.
They will pay.
American company may have to, or a domestic company may have to ship it to a dock. They may have to leave it on their dock at their warehouse, and the importer will come pick it up.
You know, we got about a minute or so left, and time went by quickly, as I knew was going to be the case. Let's talk a little bit about a specific product. I know you've developed a seafood sauce which you are going to export. Tell me a little bit in a minute or so about that process. You've actually didn't have this product. You created this product for a worldwide market.
Actually, my wife did.
Credit where credit's due.
Yep, have to give credit because she's going to see this, and I'm going to give credit. Yeah, she developed, when we were living in Florida, she developed this recipe for seafood, a seafood sauce. It's called Overton Premium Reserve Seafood Sauce. And we've been developing it over the last couple of months, and we're launching it now. And demand for it has been impressive. I mean, local as well as, the local demand was so great, it had us to start exporting it because there are restaurants, there are different industries overseas that are interested in these unique kind of products that aren't run-of-the-mill. So that's the beauty of this opportunity, is that we've created this family recipe. We've now manufactured it, labeled it, given it a name, and now we get to send it all over the world. And it was developed in my wife's kitchen with her own creativity. So Overton's become kind of our family industry along with Gray Enterprise.
So when you're thinking about products, you actually can create products. You said in the beginning a couple of minutes ago that basically whatever you've got, there's a market for somewhere. Call and find out. In this case, you created the market, and it's Jonathan Gray has been our guest on the program. All the information Jonathan is happy to share by giving him a call at 866-735-7175, 866-735-7175. That number will be posted on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. We may even sell some seafood sauce for him along the way. You can order on the on the website as well. It's an interesting opportunity for small businesses, for agricultural people to have another revenue stream, an opportunity to keep some businesses going, and maybe even hire some new people. It's easier than before. Jonathan Gray has been our guest on the program from Gray Enterprise. Jonathan, thank you for joining us, and thank you, everybody. You're listening to This Week in... You're welcome. You're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Wow, I looked down. We were like 6 minutes already, and it's...
Wow.
Yeah, that went by quickly.